Oh, Rudy, I am losing track of all of the lawsuits being filed against you. Here's a new one, though. Rudy Giuliani, if you'll recall, once accused a supermarket employee of assault. Last June in Staten Island, Rudy was standing in a supermarket when suddenly, according to Rudy, he was attacked. He said it felt like somebody shot him. He said he was lucky that he was in such good shape for an older man because otherwise he would have hit the ground and cracked his skull. He said all of these things publicly.
And all of a sudden, I feel a shot on my back, like somebody shot me. I went forward, but luckily I didn't fall down. Lucky I'm a 78-year-old who's in pretty good shape, because if I wasn't, I'd have hit the ground and probably cracked my skull.
Rudy was standing in a supermarket when someone walked up behind him, clapped him on the back, and called him a scumbag. Physically, Rudy barely reacted to being clapped on the back. He was in no danger, evidently, of hitting the ground and/or cracking his skull. He basically just got heckled. But because of Rudy's fictionalized and hyperbolized retelling of events, the man, Daniel Gill, was arrested on charges of felony assault and spent a night in jail. Gill had no previous criminal record. Now, Gill is suing Rudy Giuliani and the NYPD officers who arrested and charged him on trumped-up charges, despite the fact that there was video evidence debunking the claims made against him. Body cam footage from the arrest shows Rudy admitting to the cops that he was totally fine, but he wanted the guy arrested anyway. He said, quote, "I need a police car to put him in handcuffs and arrest him and put him in jail. The next guy he hits may not be as big and healthy as me, and he may knock him to the ground and kill him."
All of a sudden, I heard someone yell at me something I can't repeat about what I am.
Rudy's attorney believes the $2 million lawsuit will be dismissed, at least against Rudy, because the cop ultimately made the decision to arrest and charge Gill. 4 members of the NYPD are named in the suit. Now, unrelated, a former employee of Rudy's, Noelle Dunphy, has accused Rudy Giuliani of sexual assault and harassment, as well as wage theft, among other things. Dunphy is suing her former boss for $10 million. She also alleges that Rudy used to go on drunken tirades that were racist and anti-Semitic.
Now, the lawsuit, to be clear, is about Rudy Giuliani, as described, luring this woman, a woman he finds attractive, into working for him, promising her to pay her $1 million a year, which he can't pay her right now because he's trying to hide money from his wife while he's in divorce proceedings.
Rudy's legal team says that the claims are libelous, and Rudy categorically denies all allegations. They're also saying that Rudy's a powerful man in the public eye, so naturally, people are going to come after them, especially these gold-digging women. By the way, that's the same thing that Trump defenders are telling themselves to explain away Trump's recent defeat in court where he was found guilty of sexual abuse. But one of the more scandalous allegations to come from the Dunphy suit is that Rudy was selling Trump pardons for $2 million apiece while Trump was president. This isn't actually the first time we've heard this, but its mention here isn't helping to take any of the spotlight off of Rudy.
Mr. Kiriakou said he also broached his quest for a pardon during a meeting last year with Mr. Giuliani and his associates on another subject at the Trump International Hotel in Washington, which involved substantial alcohol. When Giuliani went to the bathroom at one point, one of his confidants turned to Mr. Kiriakou and suggested Giuliani could help, but, quote, "it's going to cost $2 million.
And then in Georgia, a telecom provider is suing one of Rudy's companies for not paying a $30,000 phone bill. Rudy Giuliani didn't have to do any of this. He was America's mayor. He took down the mob. He could have lived the rest of his life quietly, resting on those laurels and minding his own business, his reputation intact. Instead, he decided to sidle himself with Trump, which thrust him back into the public eye. But it wasn't the young, lucid Rudy that we all remembered. This Rudy was different. He was bumbling and incoherent. He was serving as a lackey to a guy who actually had less political experience than he did. He punches down on supermarket employees because his ego gets bruised. He's being investigated for election tampering in Georgia. He was sold out by one of his confidants in his scheme to bribe the leader of a foreign nation. We all watched as his face melted on camera. We all saw him give a press conference in front of a landscaping company. We all saw his unfortunate cameo in Borat 2. Rudy did not have to go out this way, but for whatever reason, whether he was chasing money or power or social relevance or a legacy, whatever, he chose this path for himself. And unfortunately, we now all have to deal with the decision that he made for himself. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks.